Hello, everyone. Hold on a minute. I'm going to give you a second to jump on here. I'm going to get my other light going because it seems a little dark in here tonight. So hop on, and I can't wait to discuss tonight's topic because it's one of my faves. All right. Let's get hooked up here. All righty. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. I took a nap this afternoon, so I'm a little wild looking. So I'm going to get on with my phone here while we're giving everybody a chance to jump on. But if you're here, jump in the comments and say hi. And if you're watching later, jump in the comments and say hi. Oh my gosh, there's Miss Tiffany. Look at you. You're ready. Tiff, what have you been up to this weekend, babe? I just made a giant pot of chili. I'm a big soup person. So I made some chili. I took naps every day. I watched The House of Haunting Hill. That's the Netflix thing that I'm watching right now. My husband deer hunted. Our son came home and surprised us. So that was really sweet. That was my weekend. It was kind of a lazy weekend. So we'll give the rest of you a second to hop on here and we'll see who all is joining us. Tiffany says nothing, absolutely nothing, and it was glorious. Oh my gosh, I don't blame you, Tiff. Okay, it looks like we have 10 people watching, but I can't really see those people because I'm on StreamYard. So I would love if you're here to just say hello. Tell me you're on here. Tell me what you did this weekend. It takes a few minutes, like 4 minutes or so, for people to kind of catch up to the live stream. So before I really start teaching about tonight's topic, I'm just going to give us a little warm-up period here. So I would love to know what your weekend was like. I'm laughing because Tiffany is here, and Tiffany took my coaching program at the beginning of this year. And so we do this entire deep dive. The last 3 modules are teaching you how to become like a super manifester in your life and all about the law of attraction. But this is what, so I'm just laughing because Tiffany's here and Tiffany has like the full deep dive course. But of course she's here because once this law of attraction stuff grabs a hold of you, you cannot get enough of it. Like I'll tell you when we start up exactly how I discovered the law of attraction, and you're going to get to see my woo-woo-y side, as I call it. But it's changed my life. I mean, it's so powerful. So I can't wait to dive in. Hi, Brandy. Brandy went Christmas shopping. Awesome. Brandy, I have my Christmas decor up for the first time ever before Thanksgiving, and it feels so good. It's like so cozy. Yeah. Hey, Colleen. Oh, Colleen. That's Colleen. Yeah. I was in full recovery mode from my conference on Friday. Oh my gosh. Yes. How did that go virtually, Colleen? I want to know about that. You are amazing in what you've actually been able to manifest in your own life. Colleen and I it was so cool of her. She reached out to me because she saw I was going to be in, I think it was Lexington, or I was somewhere in Kentucky, and it was the same town that she lives in. And she's this badass business coach. And she was like, hey, we're Facebook friends, but would you want to meet up for supper? And so we had this dynamite conversation about how she grew her business and became her own entrepreneur. And she runs these Empower Her conferences now, which it amazes me because she gets so many women to attend these because she's just spot on with her information and her knowledge. Jill says, hey, from Western New York, relaxing weekend filled with decorating for the holidays. I'm so glad you're here, Jill. And I see we have Teresa, we have Denise. Okay, awesome. I'm Donna and Jennifer. Cool beans. We're going to have some others kind of join. So what I want to do is talk to you about the law of attraction. And so many people don't even know what this term is. And some of us have a little inkling of it. And some of us were just super freaking blessed that this like fell in our lap several years ago, because I started hearing about the law of attraction. Well, let me just back this bus up. So it was, gosh, let's see, Spencer's 20. So it's probably anywhere between, I want to say between 16 and 18 years ago. I actually went down to Bardstown, Kentucky, because I had heard that there's this really great psychic down there, and I'm all about like, I talk to my angels daily and I meditate, and I believe that there are spirit guides around us that are guiding us. And anyway, I've always just been totally intrigued by like spiritual messengers, or some people call them psychics. So there was this lady named Beth, and I went down to Bardstown. And I know I have the tape yet, but it was incredible. Oh my gosh, Brandy says I go to her too. So this is when I was working, probably at that time, I was either a program assistant in the schools because there were no teaching jobs, or I may have been working the after school program, which was like $10 an hour. And Beth was like, you're gonna, if you can get up the gumption, like you're gonna launch your own business someday. And I was like, oh my, in my head, I was thinking, Beth, I quit college because I had panic disorder, and I finally went back to college, and I was working full time because I was married. So I would work at the prosecutor's office as a secretary, and I had a really great boss who would let me come into the prosecutor's office at 4 a.m. and start my workday so I could leave at 12, and I could drive an hour and a half away to USI to work on my teaching degree. And like I was, in the middle of that, and I'm thinking like, oh, I just want to be in the classroom. Like if I just could ever be a teacher, like I will have reached my biggest goal so far. And she was like, if you have the gumption to go for it, you're going to be really successful, and blah, 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 blah. And so anyway, the biggest thing that I walked away with is after our session, she walks over to her bookshelf, and she shows me this book right here. Okay, The Law of Attraction. And so that is when I began my intense journey of studying the law of attraction, what it is, how it works, and how I can start to use the law of attraction to create almost anything in my own life. And so a lot of people are like, well, what is this law of attraction, or what does it mean? And so I want to I plan to do a series like every Sunday for the next several weeks. And I'm just going to give you guys like little bitty chunks. And like I said, I believe so much in this law that I have dedicated the last 3 modules of my 90-day coaching program to kind of take a deep dive in it, because like Tiffany, I'm just laughing that she's here. She's amazing. I'm just going to tell Tiffany's story real quick. So she was in my coaching program in January, and Tiffany I'm just going to tell you, she about stroked me out, because she joined the $5,000 coaching program that I have, 90 days, where we completely plant an entire new foundation. And Tiffany is a school teacher, right? So we all know what school teachers make. I mean, it's sad to say that, one of the most noble, sacred professions, their paycheck does not mirror the value they bring. So at the time when I was talking to Tiffany and I was doing the sales call, because she had applied to the program, and I don't let just anybody join the program. So I vet you and make sure that like you're a good fit for who I'm looking to work with, and that I fit what you're really needing to change in your life. And so I knew that Tiffany was the perfect candidate, but I was like, oh my gosh, even I was like bringing some of my money mindsets probably even a little bit to the phone call, because it's like, gosh, I knew she was single. I knew she was a teacher. I knew enough to know that my program can help you create totally new money mindsets. But sometimes you worry that like you don't want to stress somebody out, And so she was telling me that she was working at JCPenney and Starbucks on the side. But by the time we got to the end of the sales call, I was just like, here's what I know, Tiffany. I know that we can work with your subconscious mind and the law of attraction, and we can actually teach you, like, you will more than make up the price of my program. What I didn't know is that Tiffany would make it up within 6 months, that she would not only make the $5,000 it took her to join that particular program that I ran, but I think she ended up like 30K ahead. Because the law of attraction, it doesn't matter what your current circumstances are. What we do is we base what we think we're capable of achieving, whether we want more love in our life, or we want more playtime in our life, or we want more creativity in our life, or we want more happiness and well-being, or we want a bigger home or more money. Like, it doesn't matter where you currently are, but what people do is they base their ability to achieve whatever it is they want more of in their life, and they base their ability to do that on their current circumstances until we teach them different. And so the law of attraction basically is, there's these universal laws, all right? And the law of attraction is one of the most powerful universal laws out there. But, you have to understand it, and you have to understand how to apply it in order to really start to see certain things become manifested in your life. And so the basis of this, right, is really about like living on purpose. Because even if you don't know what the law of attraction is, it's working in your life right now. Like, whatever is coming to you, for the most part, you are attracting that in with your energy, with your vibrational frequency, with your thoughts, with your beliefs. And so most of us are actually utilizing the law of attraction, but we're doing it by default. We don't even know, because we're not being intentional with what it is that we are really drawing into us. And so the law of attraction basically says this, right? That which is like into itself is drawn. All right. So you know how you hear things like birds of a feather flock together, right? Well, what they're talking about is the law of attraction. When we hear people say you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, that's because the people that you spend the most time with, whatever their energetic level is that they hold, right, is also coming and affecting your energy field. And so, like, we see evidence of this when, have you ever had it, like, you wake up unhappy, or maybe you trip and you stub your toe on the way to the bathroom, and then throughout your day, things get worse and worse and worse. And at the end of the day, you're like, oh gosh, I should have never gotten out of bed, right? That's the law of attraction at work, because your thoughts, your negativity is creating more of that negativity. And so, let me give you another example. We all know people who like focus on the negative, right? So like, there are people who are always complaining about money. They never have enough money. And I'm not saying that that's not true, but whatever you are going to focus your energy on, I'm going to promise you that is going to come back into your life. So if you're going to always focus on your lack of money, then you will totally, like, the universe will reciprocate, and it will give you evidence that your belief is right. For the person who always focuses on their illnesses and ailments and everything that's wrong, whatever you speak about the most, that is what you will get. So like, the person who maybe doesn't make a ton of money, but they see that there is abundance in so many different things. There's an abundance of air around them, and there's an abundance of green grass, and there's an abundance of leaves, and there's an abundance of space, and there's an abundance of sunshine. The person who focuses on abundance more of the time versus lack of is the person who will get more prosperity. And so, like, the law of attraction, one of the best ways I can kind of describe it is like, when you set your radio dial to 92.5, that's a popular country station where I live. When you set your radio station to 92.5, you expect to receive the broadcast, right, that is transmitting from the tower 92.5, because you understand that radio signals between the transmitting tower and your receiver, those have to match, right? And so when those radio signals match, that's when you get the radio station. And so when we're talking about the law of attraction, all right, it's the same thing. It's about raising your vibrational frequency to a level so that the universe can respond and tune into that particular signal that you're sending out, and then it can give you more of that. And so it's like it's the relationship between your thinking, right? So the thoughts in your head, because we know that thoughts have a vibrational frequency, and we know that thoughts create feelings, right? So if I have the thought like, oh my gosh, my stomach has so much fat around it, and then it creates the feeling of like shame. Well, I know on the vibrational scale that shame holds a very low vibrational frequency. Depression holds a very low vibrational frequency. Resentment holds a very low vibrational frequency. But gratitude, love, joy, prosperity, abundance, those hold high vibrational frequencies. So your thoughts are always creating your feelings. So your thoughts and your feelings both have a vibrational frequency about them. So whatever you're sending out most of the time is usually what's coming back to you. All right. And of course, we all have negative feelings sometimes. That's part of being a human being. But this is really about, where do you most focus your thoughts on? What do you most envision for your life? What is it that you focus on and streamline and deliberately intend to create in your life? Because when you work on getting your vibrational level up there, that is when you start attracting what seems like the most impossible into your life. That's why Tiffany ended up selling her home for, $25,000 more than she bought it for 2 years before. That's why she got this crazy bonus that was totally unexpected, that happened to match the exact price it cost to join my program. That's why she's launching her second business and generating a second income, because she now is carrying a blueprint. And in her blueprint, she fully knows now that this is possible. And so what we're talking about is your blueprint, your energetic blueprint. Okay. So let me give you an example of that. And I know that some people get kind of heebie-jeebish when we start talking about money, right? Like that in itself is a trigger, which is why on these, I'm going to do some money mindset busting beliefs with all of you, because there should be zero shame around wanting to create all kinds of abundance in your life. But we all hold an energetic blueprint, and what we have to learn to do is to change that energetic blueprint so that we can now begin to co-create with the universe or source or God or whatever term you use, so that you can actually begin to manifest. Okay, so I need to stop talking. You guys tell me in the chat box. Am I making sense? I'm so well versed in this topic, and I know I'm going really fast, but I want to know, is what I'm talking about making sense to you? All right, I'm going to look over here and see. Oh, Miss Allison is in here too. Julie says, yes. Amber's in here. Jennifer's in here. Marcia, Cindy, Jane, Sally. Awesome. All right, I'm so glad. So what I'm saying is making sense. Now, I'm just going to show you guys some examples here. Because when I learned the law of attraction, and I started, I've done 15 years of pretty intense study around all of this. And I felt like this is how I went, you guys. I'm just going to say it, right? This is how he went from making $8 an hour to making $8,000 an hour while stepping on a stage. This is how he went from driving a $2,000 car around to, you know, we pay cash now for our vehicles. Like, when I started learning about the law of attraction, we were in debt. We lived paycheck to paycheck. We took our tax refund check every year, and all of it had to go to credit card debt. We had a stressful family situation. We had a stressful marriage. All of these things are true before I started really utilizing the law of attraction. I mean, we had hardly any savings account. We had credit card bills. We lived paycheck to paycheck. I was in a very negative work environment. Like, all of these things are true of my current status at the time. But when I learned to not use my current circumstances as the lever of how far I can go in my life, that is when everything shifted. And so there's a part of me that's like, oh, they're going to be like, oh, Kim's all about like, you should get the big house and you should get the nice vehicles. No, I don't care what wealth looks like in your life. I think wealth comes in many forms. But what we have to do, ladies, is we have to get over feeling like there's something wrong with wanting to achieve prosperity in our life. When we can achieve prosperity in our life, now, I know the happiness research, and the happiness research says if you think that making $1 million is going to bring you long-term happiness, that's probably not what's going to do it. So I understand the happiness research, but there's also a money mindset belief in that, right? Because it depends on what that wealth and prosperity brings you. Does it bring you more time to do your hobbies? Does it bring you more freedom to choose your work schedule and when you want to work? Does it buy you the ability, like it does me, to support a kid that was in my 4th grade class that does not have a mother or a father who's now in college? You know, and so we have to get over this problem with thinking like, ooh, I don't want to talk about money and like, you know. But I'm going to show you like some of my vision boards. And here's the thing, right? 99% of people who create vision boards, that shit never comes true. Why? Because they don't know how to use the law of attraction behind the vision board to make that shit start to happen in their life, right? And that's what I teach a lot in my course is like, this is the mindset behind how do you create a vision for what you want in your life? How do you focus on that vision? And how do you raise your vibrational level enough so that you can achieve that vision? And I see that there. Yes, makes sense, Jennifer said. What you put out there is what you're going to get back. Julie says, yeah, going from a poverty mindset to one of abundance. Yeah, that's a big ass leap, right, Julie? I mean, you know, I'll tell you all, 2 years ago, my company made $350,000. Okay. That's pretty damn good, I think. Now, of course, you know, I have a whole team behind me. We have expenses and all of that. But this year, because of COVID, everything has greatly decreased because, you know, we've had to pivot the machine. You know, I didn't have $100,000 month in August like I did the year before because most of the live keynotes that I do were canceled. But I've had to coach myself on that so that I didn't go into a scarcity mindset, because there were times in this last year, especially at first, which I was like, oh my God, am I going to lose my business? Like, what's going to happen? And you know, am I going to have to go get a different job? But then I really started to apply the concepts that I know to my life, right, in that current circumstance. And one of the things that I know, because I've learned, is that, look, I have a blueprint that says and shows me that I already know how to make $330,000. Like, I have a blueprint. I know how to make that kind of money. So even though COVID has shifted some things, I have a blueprint now that says, well, Kim, you've already done that, so you know how to do that. So I can get back to that, right? And so, Julie, when you're talking about that, there's a lot of mindsets, especially when you come from poverty, or even when you don't. Like, I didn't come from poverty, but I have a whole set of money mindsets that I've had to work on in the last 15 years because they came from my loving family, or even from society around me that says like, ooh, you know, you should never talk about money, and don't talk about wanting money, and don't act like you want to be wealthy, because if you want money, like, money is the root of all evil. It says that in the Bible, which we're going to talk about that in one of my sessions here. But it's the love of money that's the root of all evil, right? It's not that money is the root of all evil. Or, you can't be a good person and a wealthy person, or you're not a spiritual person if you're somebody who wants money, right? Or wealth, or abundance, right? An abundance of love, an abundance of happiness, an abundance of joy, an abundance of health, an abundance of well-being, an abundance of freedom, an abundance of experiences. And so I'm going to show you all, because I basically have been keeping my vision boards for years because I love to go back and look at them. And I went down to the basement a while ago and I dug one out. I think it's this one that I want to show you guys. There's so many. Okay. Okay. For example, this is before I launched my own business. Okay. So what year would this have been? This would have been August of 2015. I was planting the seeds for launching it, but I didn't launch it until January of 2016. Okay. But what I want to show you all is I had already started. I was not speaking. I was not a motivational speaker yet, but I had these images so that I started to visualize and see myself on the stage. I had launched one teeny tiny workshop. I got like 14 people to join, but I took that person's registration and I put it up there because I knew I wanted to create more people who were coming to my workshops. I wanted to, empower people. I wanted to become a curriculum director, which I did that, which is why you see a check mark there. I wanted to work on educational reform and improvement, and I did that, right? When I launched my business. You will see on here, I have lots and lots of things, and I always put check marks next to them. This is one that I had at my old house. This is one that I had before we ever had a savings account, before I made any kind of decent money. And I'm going to show you all something. So this house right here. So that house went on my vision board back when I was living paycheck to paycheck. We were using our tax money to pay off our credit card. We had bills out the wazoo. I was driving a $2,000 vehicle around. And what's really weird is, so this would have been I think, I don't have the date on here, but I'm guessing this would have probably been around 2007, 2008, maybe. I'm not sure. But if I were to show you a picture of the home that I live in right now, it is crazy how similar it is to this picture. I wanted to go to Arizona. Well, I've done that twice now since then. I wanted to learn all about, women and having women's circles and coaching women and empowering them. I wanted to learn the practice of manifestation. I wanted to learn how to manage my money. And so all of those things went on my board before my current circumstances. You would have never been like, well, yeah, based on Kim's current circumstances, she's going to be able to acquire those things in her life. But the law of attraction is, it's a game changer, but it's not enough to just think there's a lot of mindset work that a person has to do in order to learn how to start doing it. And in fact, I know that Tiffany and Allison are both happen to be on this Facebook Live, which cracks me up because both of them went through my 90-day program. Both of them know about the law of attraction. But I actually think, girls, that what we did with you all is we really educated you on the law of attraction and showed you how to start manifesting those things. I gave you guys some of my top skills for how to start manifesting, but I think there's a big level that we can even go deeper on that. And so I have this crazy idea to create another course, not this year, but sometime, because I think there's even more that we can all do with the law of attraction. And so I'm just curious, does anybody have any questions? I'm going to show up here every week and I'm just going to do little tiny mini lessons on that. I will tell you all that I am taking applications for my program that starts next year. I'm only taking applications right now, and my team and I will review those. Once you fill out an application, what we do is we look through those, and if we think that you might be a good fit for the program, then we hop on a phone call to kind of just review what it is that you're wanting to change in your life, and just making sure that you're a really good fit for my program and I'm a really good fit for you. And so if you are wanting to get on that wait list, I'm actually going to post it. Let me find it here. I'm going to post it in the comment section, because I plan to start doing phone calls in December. And we already have people who are filling out applications and getting on the wait list. And so if this is something that you are thinking you want to do for 2021, and you're really ready to actually, learn how to really and truly manifest, your wildest dreams. I mean, what we do is we show you how to dramatically shift your mindset so that you can start to create the life that you have been wanting, but you learn how to do it regardless of your current circumstances. It's about harnessing this universal intelligence and learning to attract. Oh, you filled out. Okay, so that's on my list today. Let's see. Somebody, it doesn't show me on there. Let me look here. Somebody, so on my thing, it says working on making a vision board. I'm looking at it because it's on mine. Hold on a minute, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to you guys. Jill said, okay, so Jill, you filled out one. So what I do is I do a special bonus for the first 5 people who enroll in the program. And so I will begin those sales calls. I will probably be reaching out in the next couple of weeks if I think you're a good fit for my program. And then we will do the call just to make sure that what you're really wanting to change in your life, Jill, matches up to the kind of results I get. Because I always say, like, my program is for a specific woman. It's not going to be for the woman whose focus is like, I just want to lose a whole bunch of weight. I'm not going to be your girl for that, right? I have my zone of expertise, and then other coaching programs have their zones of expertise. So I try to be really deliberate in who, so that the person who joins my program is really going to get the kind of results they're looking for. And if I'm not the coach to give you what you're looking for, I can direct you to someone else who might be a better fit. And then if you are, we get you enrolled, which the program starts next year. So I will definitely review those. I will put the link to the application, you guys, in the comment section. Again, we'll probably start doing those here in the next couple of weeks. But I also, even if you're not interested in the coaching program, I want to come on here every Sunday night, because I believe, like, this is how it starts out. We start out by learning what is possible for our life. We start to educate ourselves and get new knowledge that we didn't know before was possible. I know Allison's on here too, and Allison was in my 90-day coaching program. I got stories out the wazoo. I think what we're going to do, Allison and Tiffany, maybe we'll have, like, you guys come on here in January, and we'll just do like a little show, and I'll let you guys talk about what you noticed with the program and how it's worked in your life. Because I think sometimes it's easier to hear from people who have actually gone through it, right? Rather than me, the one that actually thinks it's the big ass bomb of a deal. So anyways, yeah, Jill, I'll be in touch. I'll review your application, and then I'll be in touch. And if it looks like we're a good fit, we can schedule a phone call and kind of go over what your goals are and how you're really wanting to pivot your life. So, all right, guys, it's Sunday night. Here's what I want to leave you with, okay? I want to leave you with one little tip. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. I want to leave you with one little tip. So we've been talking about vibrational frequencies, and we've been talking about whatever you focus on grows. And we've been talking about the fact that thoughts have a vibrational frequency. So I want you, when you wake up in the morning, I want you to choose your first thought. I want you to be deliberate as soon as you open your eyes. make sure that tomorrow, Monday morning, when you wake up, you choose your first thought and you think about, what is my intention for this day? How do I want to feel? What do I want to focus on? Because I think you have to take control of your thoughts. Now, I'm sure I have tons of negative thoughts in a day. We all do as human beings. We don't have to have like all positive thoughts. What we have to learn to do is just tip the scales by 1%, which I talked about that on this week's podcast, by the way. So you need to go listen to it if you haven't. My She Finds Joy podcast talks about shifting your life by 1 degree. So tomorrow morning, you may write yourself a sticky note or give yourself a little alarm on your phone, but I want you to intentionally choose your very first thought starting tomorrow, okay? Julie says, personal development and the law of attraction helps me in an amazing way. I love that, Julie. I love that. And you're seeing the results of that in your life. I know you've been taking some courageous leaps as well. We get to decide at the end of the day if we're going to stay safe on our lily pad and we're going to hardly ever take risk. And if you don't want to really move the needle much in your life, that's fine. But if you want to move the needle in your life in a big way, unfortunately, you have to take big ass risk in your life. And sometimes you're going to fail, right? But like, I will go to my grave knowing that I lived a life where I took risk and had the courage to do so, because I have seen that the reward of that more than not is fruitful, So, okay, guys, choose your first thought tomorrow. I'll see you next Sunday at the same time. Bye.